Planet of the Apes. Three astronauts, traveling in a state of suspended animation, approach their destination after 18 months in a spacecraft flying at the speed of light, only to make an unprogrammed splashdown into a vast, foreboding lake.
What went wrong?
I don't know. She went under before I could listen to the tapes.
Be thankful that this air isn't as poisonous as it looks.
Gone. We're here to stay.
But where are we? And even more important, when? According to Hassline's theory of time in a vehicle moving at the speed of light,
Mother Earth will have aged a couple of thousand years, while we have outlived everyone we knew, while we have scarcely aged at all.
Great. Stranded 2,000 years in the future on a lifeless planet revolving around some unknown star.
lifeless is right. Nothing can grow here. That lake we landed in is almost pure salt.
Don't give up too soon. We have 3 days worth of food and water. 3 days to find life on a dead planet. Landon, coming?
In a minute.
Ha! And I thought you were ready to give up.
The astronauts' trek for life takes them across a bleak and hostile landscape. I can't figure this place. There's a thick cloud of dust, but it's as humid as a jungle. Lightning and thunder, but no rain. I give up. I can't drag my feet.
Don't, Dodge! Don't move your feet!
What is it?
It's life!
Then we're going to make it. Listen, that roar. Is it a waterfall?
That is beautiful.
Don't drink till I test it. It's okay.
Let me at it.
Hold it. Company. So much for our dead planet theory. Hello!
That's the old charm, Taylor. Who or what were they?
That footprint looks human.
Maybe you guys didn't notice, but that pretty one looked very human.
Hey, not bad for a 2,000-year-old man. Here's their trail. They looked like primitive men. I think we've found a Stone Age culture.
You know, I think we could become big shots on this planet.
A rifle shot in the Stone Age? The primitives are being hunted down by gorillas on horseback.
Suddenly, the spectators become part of the hunt.
Look out! They're after us, too!
Dodge! Ah! Landon, this is madness!
Seeing Dodge shot dead and Landon trampled, Taylor makes a desperate run for freedom, only to find himself facing one of the ground gorillas who have been flushing out the terrified primitives. In a blind rage, Taylor seizes the long stick from the surprised hunter, and the beater finds himself being beaten.
This is for Dodge, and this is for Landon, and...
A rifle cracks, and Taylor feels fire at his throat.
A really vicious beast. All the more reason to wipe them all out. But I'm sure the animal psychologist will want to save this one for experiments.
After a long period of blackness, Taylor's mind swims back to consciousness. He finds himself strapped down, and dimly he realizes he is receiving blood. Then he passes out again.
This is the one with the strange clothes?
Yes, Dr. Zira. He's lost a lot of blood. I don't know why we're bothering to save him. Filthy humans.
Taylor wakes for good to discover he is living his nightmare. He is caged like an animal in an animal hospital.
Good morning, Bright Eyes. You interest me, Bright Eyes. Oh, I won't hurt you. I'm an animal psychologist. But how can I explain that to you? I'm convinced that humans have great intelligence. If only you had the gift of speech.
Taylor stares in amazement at the talking chimp. He tries to answer, but his throat wound has robbed him of speech. Now it is Zira's turn to stare in amazement at the dumb human who seems to be mouthing words.
Bright Eyes, are you imitating my mouth movements?
In frustration, Taylor suddenly grabs the psychologist's clipboard and pencil.
Hey, give that back. I warn you not to get too close, Dr. Zira. All humans are vicious beasts.
But Zira is shaken to the core by Taylor's note. My name is Taylor. Zira shows Taylor's note to her fiancé.
Cornelius, I tell you, he has ape intelligence.
A human wrote this?
He could prove your theory about a missing link between the lowly human beast and the civilized ape.
Yes, yes. Dr. Zaius would have to let me pursue my archaeological research then. A writing human. If only he could talk. Meanwhile, Taylor has recovered his self-control.
Nova, is that what they call you? Thanks for saving my life. Hey, I'm talking. My voice has come back.
Several days later.
We've come for the one called Bright Eyes.
It's Taylor, not Bright Eyes.
I've told the authorities about your talking trick, Bright Eyes. Now you'll see what comes of being too clever. They'll remove your brain to study it.
Suddenly, realizing his helplessness, Taylor struggles vainly.
He's strong for a human.
I club him, but Dr. Zaius wants him at an inquiry.
In collar and leash, Taylor is led through the door of a forbidding inquiry room.
Dr. Zira, I can talk.
Shh, I heard about it. And Cornelius and I arranged this inquiry to try to save your life.
The inquiry is a fiasco. In vain does Taylor try to tell his story.
We came from outer space, from a distant planet called Earth.
Nonsense. Dr. Cornelius, do you believe this preposterous nonsense?
Not entirely, Dr. Zaius, but he does accurately describe the eastern desert region where I made my archaeological discoveries.
Your discoveries were scientific heresy, and you have been forbidden to speak of them. I am a fair ape, Bright Eyes, but as Minister of Science I believe in proof. The companions you spoke of, could they confirm this wild tale?
One is dead at your hands. The other, I don't know. Perhaps he was also captured.
Very well. Let us see if your fictitious astronaut friend can be found among the survivors of the hunt in which you were captured, Taylor.
Taylor, do not antagonize them needlessly. Our careers are in jeopardy and your life.
You don't fully believe me either, do you, Zira? That's him, Landon, on the left. Landon! John, it's me, Taylor.
Let him approach, guards.
You vicious savages. You've removed his frontal lobe.
Return that animal to his cage before he gets violent.
Beaten and hauled back to imprisonment, Taylor gives in to his despair.
Nova, this place is insane, mad. For some reason, they fear me, want to destroy me. How can I fight them? I'm all alone.
I've come for this mail. He's to be transferred to the zoo.
Says who?
Dr. Zaius, read it for yourself.
This is no good. It's not signed.
Hit him, Bright Eyes! I'm Lucius, Aunt Zira's nephew. We've arranged your escape.
The girl!
Under cover of darkness, Zira leads Taylor and Nova to a wagon.
Be quiet, and we may manage this. All men look alike to most apes. We will meet Cornelius in the East Desert at his archaeological excavation. He and I must clear ourselves of the heresy charge.
Their luck holds, and after a long, tense ride,
I'll take this rifle. Nobody's going to capture me again.
Cornelius leads the group to a strange and somehow magnificent cavern.
I want you to see my archaeological digs, and perhaps some surprises even for you, Taylor.
I can't believe this. Spectacles, dentures, beautiful silverware. Cornelius, this represents a civilization more advanced than yours.
I know. Therein lies the heresy. Our schools teach that the ape evolved from the animal human. Have they been teaching us lies?
Necessary lies. For the protection of our race, and for which unfortunately you must all die.
Dr. Zaius, in the interest of science...
In the interest of survival, Dr. Cornelius, killer humans must be forever kept in their place.
No more gobbledygook talk.
With the speed of a cat, Taylor bounds to the cave entrance and pins Dr. Zaius.
In the interest of our survival, Zaius, send back your guards or you perish.
Taylor, you wouldn't...
Of course he would. What are your terms, killer human?
You're a fine one to speak of killing. I want freedom for the girl and myself, plus a good horse and a pardon for my friends.
Granted.
Dr. Zira, I'd like to kiss you goodbye.
Of course, Bright Eyes. But I do wish you weren't so ugly.
Am I safe in untying you, Dr. Zaius?
I am an ape of my word, but you realize the cave must be sealed up.
I can't fight you, Dr. Zaius, but the humans, what will become of them?
They go to meet their destiny.
Just hold tight, Nova. that up ahead? Oh, no. No! Nova, now all the pieces come together. This is my planet Earth 2,000 years in the future. And my civilization destroyed itself. Oh, Nova, Nova, you are what is left of the human race.
Beneath the planet of the apes. Man has always peered fearfully into the future, dreading the glimpse that will show him all his dreams turn to dust. Several thousand years into our future, this man, Astronaut Taylor, has had his glimpse of nightmare. He clings to sanity, but only barely.
So now I know. I've traveled through a time warp in space thousands of years into the future and back to my own planet. And now I know that sometime after I left, my people went the way of nuclear destruction. If only they could see their legacy. What's left of the world is topsy-turvy. Apes, talking apes, rule Earth. Humans are mute animals, like you, my lovely Nova. Where do we go from here? Back there are the apes thirsting for my blood. Ahead? What? Well, be it ever so humble. That was home, Nova, but it's certain that nobody's home now to welcome us. Fire! How? What's feeding it? The fire's gone. I don't get it. Either I've lost my mind or... But you saw it, Nova. And the horse. Let's try again. Lord! I don't know what's happening here, but I'll have to go ahead alone, Nova. Wear this, Nova. If anything happens, go back to Ape City. Find Zira, the chimpanzee psychologist. She'll help you. And keep away from the gorillas. Ice? Am I having hallucinations? Is there something supernatural trying to block my way? I'll hack my way through. Oh!
Gone. Ice and Taylor both. The grim wreckage of a great city shimmers in an eerie stillness as silent as Nova's scream. Distraught and bewildered, Nova rides aimlessly toward a sight that will only confuse her more.
Skipper, speak to me. It's Brent. Skipper, hang on.
Where are we?
I don't know. We were following Taylor's exact trajectory and probably duplicated his fate. I don't know where we are, but the smashed instruments tell us when. 3955 AD.
You shouldn't joke at a time. A time?
Skipper! What a fool's errand. Searching for a lost spaceship. Now there are two. Hello. Oh, no. I'm dreaming. None of this is true. You don't smash up a spaceship and step out to meet a beautiful ragamuffin out for a morning canter. I am friend. Brent. You understand? Whoops. No sail. Wait! I look for Taylor. Taylor!
The name strikes a responsive chord in Nova.
Taylor! We came down right on target.
To his dismay, Brent soon learns that Nova is mute.
Where? Where is Taylor? Well, nothing ventured. Let's look, huh? Maybe somebody around here can speak.
Under a slack rein, the horse heads for home.
I've never seen such desolation. We always thought there must be life on other planets, but who'd bet on one like this? Hey, vegetation! Things are looking up.
Brent's voice reminds Nova of Taylor. She is almost peaceful, till her animal's sharp eyes spot something.
Hey, what?
General Ursus has called for a giant rally at the arena tonight.
At last, action!
Gorillas? In uniform? On horseback? And talking? Wow! They'll never believe this back home. As soon as it's dark, baby, we find that arena.
I alone can lead you to victory over the unknown enemy that lurks in the Forbidden Zone. An enemy that threatens our very existence. Are they human? This threat to our ape civilization? If so, we shall wipe them out! Along with every human now eating our food, crowding us off our precious land!
Ursus, lead us! Ursus, lead us!
It's like something from mankind's past, seen in an ape's nightmare. Let's get away from here while we can.
Suddenly, Nova grabs Brent's arm and points at two chimpanzees slipping out of the arena. The gorillas have gone mad, Zira. Imagine civilized apes going to war.
Not apes, Cornelius. Gorillas. They're not fit to be called apes. Oh, Nova.
You've come back. Is that Taylor with you?
No, I'm Brent. You know Taylor?
Another talking human. Oh, we had great affection for Taylor.
Zira saved him from death and worse, at the hands of... But never mind. You must leave immediately. The gorillas lost for war. They've been seeking a pretext, and now scouts have disappeared in the Forbidden Zone. No human will be safe. Probably no chimpanzees either. Go! Do not fall into their hands. Two chimpanzees disappear into the night.
They're gone. Nova, I've never met a girl with such interesting friends. War! War! I can smell it. Hey, either you're beginning to understand or you have a keen nose. You know, back home, the trouble with most women was that they talk too much.
Suddenly, the angry whine of a bullet.
Gorillas. Starting now, I follow my chimpanzee's advice.
Brent's skillful riding frustrates his pursuers. But as they race deep into the Forbidden Zone to the outskirts of a molten ruin, the glassy crust beneath them gives way. Stunned, Brent vaguely hears the disappearing clatter of his horse's hooves. He squints at a great underground cavern.
Oh, no! Nova, do you realize? Taylor, you're telling me that he made the same discovery. This is Earth. My Earth. And mankind blew it. I wonder when. As if it makes any difference. Nova, is that light ahead? Is this an underground city or graveyard?
Suddenly, weird, compelling organ music fills the square.
Music? You hear it, Nova? Do you hear a voice, too? Come to the cathedral. The music is coming from there, but the voice is inside my head.
Speaking in a whisper, Brent holds Nova to the shadows.
They're praying. They're not making a sound, but I can hear their prayer. Oh, Lord, look what they're worshiping. An atomic bomb. Do you hear them? We reveal our inner selves to our Maker.
The strange worshippers pull at their faces. Despite himself, a strangled cry escapes Brent. As he sees the ghastly heritage of atomic radiation, the bomb is indeed their Maker. Immediately, Brent and Nova are surrounded by mutants and bombarded by telepathic questions.
I'm from your past. I seek a man named Taylor. Please, cover your faces. Yes, I know Taylor. You mean he's alive? Temporarily? What do you mean?
Brent?
An incredible reunion.
I haven't seen you for 2,000 years. Yes, I should have left a message. Meet me in the cathedral under the atom bomb. That's the Alpha Omega bomb, Brent. Do you know what that means? That's the Doomsday Bomb, built as a deterrent to war back in the 1970s. Evidently, it didn't stop atomic warfare. But if that one had gone off, not even this much would have been left.
A chain reaction would have destroyed even the planet itself.
Exactly.
That is precisely why we worship it, as an instrument of peace.
You can speak.
Of course, we usually bypass such primitive communication, but with primitives...
Well, listen to this, primitive. Defuse that bomb. If the gorillas ever lay hands on it...
Gorillas?
Gorillas. Marching on this city right now.
The gorillas are indeed marching to the outskirts of the city, where they are stopped.
A great wall of fire! Our enemy is mighty.
Gorillas! Ha ha ha! How will they pass our wall of fire, our bottomless chasm? Our precipice of ice?
Illusions, all illusions! What if they're all too thick to be frightened off?
Fate challenges Ursus to achieve greatness! Follow!
Amid the thunder of thousands of hooves, the guerrillas blindly follow their leader.
General, the flames have no heat.
Illusion! Our enemy hopes to defeat us with illusion!
Then they are clever. Perhaps too clever for us.
Nonsense! This means they are weak!
And the guerrilla hordes ride over a chasm and through a precipice of ice.
Your Excellence, guerrilla troops are streaming into our city.
The bomb! Let me try to defuse it.
You will stay where you are!
The mutant chief projects paralyzing thought waves.
My head!
I can't move!
The power of the bomb will preserve peace!
The great doors burst open.
Halt! Or face destruction! Another mighty illusion, puny human!
Stop, both of you!
Enough play! So be it!
The bomb glows with deadly heat. In the hum of doom, Nova speaks her first and last word. With this unspeakable explosion, the city once again, and for all time, is destroyed. And in the doomsday chain reaction, so also is the planet called Earth. And now we too have seen the future. Must it be our future? Now that we know, can we make sure it will not be? Escape from the planet of the apes. In the year 3955, the world comes to a fiery end. This isn't prophecy. It is actually being witnessed by Earth's last two living beings.
The fools have done it! Look, the rim of the Earth is melting!
Then why did we escape? Where do we go?
Perhaps nowhere! Hold tight! Shockwave!
The vibration, I'm blacking out.
Just as well. The instruments are going haywire. I don't know how long the ship will hold together.
Its occupants unconscious, the spaceship becomes a ball of fire as it enters a dense atmosphere and splashes down into a tranquil blue sea.
Are we all right?
That remains to be seen.
Yes, Mr. President. A Marine copter reported a spacecraft in the water off the California coast, but we had no spacecraft up.
Jim, we've checked the markings. Hold on to your seat. It might be Taylor's ship.
Have you heard? This might be Taylor's ship.
But that was lost in space over a year ago. Nobody can be alive inside.
I hear voices. They speak our language. They must be intelligent.
Perhaps, but do not speak till we've appraised the situation.
Someone is moving. Wait! There are two! Step back! Don't touch them!
Chimps!
Humans! I hope you're satisfied, Cornelius. I pretended to be mute as you instructed, and what do we get for our trouble? We end up in a cage.
They call this a marine guardhouse.
Bars make it a cage. We caged enough humans, didn't we? Oh, Cornelius, we are in danger, aren't we?
Yes, dear. Remember how Taylor was treated when he tried to convince us that he was intelligent and had come from space? Now we are in Taylor's position.
Our apenauts are to be transferred to the zoo.
Distinguished visitors for the monkey house, huh?
Here, humans rule and apes are primitive. Do not upset them, Zira. Not only for our sake.
Someone's coming.
Shortly afterward, at the Los Angeles Zoo.
I'm looking forward to testing these space apes, Stevie.
They're probably quite intelligent, Louis, but they're not the first primates to have been sent into orbit.
These two are different. I'm told that at the guardhouse they changed their clothes from a suitcase.
I don't believe it.
I'm Dr. Dixon, here to examine the new arrivals.
Yes, sir. Careful with the female. She's sulky.
You'd sulk too if you had to sit and be tickled under the chin and pretend to be a lower order animal.
Hello, big fellas. We're going to be friends. Look, banana.
Maybe they don't grow bananas in space, Louis.
Yummy yum.
I detest bananas, young man.
What's going on with these monkeys we're supposed to be guarding?
Chimps, pal, and you wouldn't believe it. First, that zoologist and his assistant go into the cage, and then they send me for tea. Then they tell me to get lost.
So, what's wrong with the zoologist liking tea?
Nothing except when you sit down to drink it with a couple of apes whose manners are fancier than yours.
This is the most exciting moment of my entire career.
That's the way we felt when we met your astronaut, Taylor, so long ago, or should I say, so far ahead in the future.
Then you're convinced you have come from the future? From this very same planet? And actually witnessed the destruction of Earth?
I am convinced, sorrowfully.
Very well, Dr. Hasline. You're my scientific advisor. Form an investigating committee if you think it necessary.
It is necessary. The ship is Taylor's. The time meter read 3955 AD. The implications are staggering, Mr. President. Dr. Hasline is efficient. The usual red tape is cut, and in a very short time, Zira and Cornelius find themselves being whisked toward Los Angeles,
Whee! What luxury!
where they soon cause consternation amid a distinguished presidential committee.
I cannot believe what I hear. You say you come from the future, and that in the future here on Earth, apes will rule, and men will be lower order animals? How can that happen?
I'm not quite certain myself, sir, but when astronaut Taylor found his way to us through a time warp in space, he deduced that man had destroyed his civilization through nuclear war. Not many years from now, I would guess.
Dr. Hasline, do you believe this nonsense?
There is no other explanation, Senator. Coolly, Zira and Cornelius complete their testimony in the stunned silence of the great room.
Evidently, civilized men, warlike men, had managed to survive your nuclear war. They lived beneath a molten city. When the guerrillas marched against them, much against our will, they destroyed the Earth.
Our scientists had managed to make Taylor's ship operable. Poorly skilled as we were, we had to chance flying into space for safety, for the sake of...
We were in space.
We saw the explosion. We saw the rim of the Earth melt.
You were magnificent.
They will not let us live, Lewis.
But perhaps our baby will.
Perhaps fate has chosen to send two apes back through a time warp to warn us. Somehow man will make a fatal mistake and allow apes to take over. But we will not help that mistake to happen. These talking apes will be confined for life. I'm sending them to Camp 11, and their offspring will be taken away.
Hasline's decision was cruel. Zira and Cornelius committed no crime.
But Hasline feels their descendants will. No descendants, no crime. But at least they're safe and comfortable, and perhaps in time.
Cornelius, my baby must not be born in imprisonment.
I agree, Zira, dear. This door was designed to hold humans.
Where do you think you're going, monkey?
Don't touch her! I didn't hit him hard, but now, just as our people hunted Taylor, his people will hunt us.
The chimps have escaped! They killed Turner!
We've got to find them, Stevie, and we mustn't be seen.
So much for a nice, quiet visit.
I am sorry to slow us down.
I would rather have the baby born right here than in there.
Oh!
Zira, it's all right. It's us, Stevie and Lewis.
You'll be all right. There's time. We're taking you to a friend who has a circus. I've done veterinary work for... Oh, sorry. You forget. I was a veterinarian myself, for humans.
You ask me to risk everything for two fugitive apes? I would be insulted if you asked anyone else. Between the tiger cage and the chimpanzees, how do you like your room?
Lovely.
You helped deliver our last baby, Stevie, and now you do it again. Say hello to Eloise and your goddaughter Salome.
Hello, baby.
Soon you'll have company.
I just phoned in to say I was searching. Hasline is scouring the area. Is that...
Our baby.
A boy.
May I suggest a name? In consideration of the worlds he must conquer, Caesar.
Baby Caesar.
And the St. Francis Medal, for good fortune.
I never meant to hit the guard so hard. I didn't realize my strength. Perhaps Hasline is right. Maybe we can never live together.
With understanding, we come to know one another's strength, and our own.
Meanwhile, Hasline musters all his strength. They can't get out of the city limits.
Now fine-comb every likely place for an ape to hide. Every zoo, every circus.
Rotten luck. Lewis, we must hide them. Hashline's men are heading here. Where can they go?
I know a place.
In 2 weeks, I break camp and go to Florida. They will be safe there for life.
Zira?
Coming. I'm saying goodbye to Heloise. We have become such good friends.
Beyond this abandoned shipyard is a small harbor I used to play in. There is a derelict ship you can hide in for 2 weeks. We'll come for you when it's safe. Then on to Florida.
I hate this place. It smells of men and death.
We won't need this again.
If he had seen us, would I have had to kill again? If it weren't for the child, I don't think I could go on. But the child must live. He must.
Yes, Cornelius. He must.
You have papers for these chimps?
Of course. The little one was the first baby chimp ever born in a circus in the Los Angeles area. Her name is Salome, and...
It's clean. Let's go.
I'm warning you, Dixon. Don't play games with me. If you know where those chimps are, I'll have your hide.
Look what turned up, Dr. Hasline.
Lewis, what happened?
It sounds like they found Zira's suitcase. We've got to get out there.
Move it. You'll never know how important this is. Get choppers out to the old McKinley shipyard. Surround the yard and the harbor. Unaware of the forces racing toward them, Zira and Cornelius try to settle in.
2 weeks here? It's so filthy.
Try to rest. I'll look for something better above. Let me out here.
It's a bad pun, but he's gone bananas.
I've got them. Do it yourself and do it right. No do-gooders, no philosophers. No one seems to realize what hangs in the balance.
He's flipped for sure.
Well, I'm not going to stop him. These big shots can be murder.
With fanatical stealth, Hasline boards the derelict.
Cornelius, where are you?
Why, thank you, Madam Monkey. If they know we're here, there's nothing I can do. Why did I take this? What could ever induce me to use it? I'll take the baby, Sarah. Sarah! Come back, Sarah. Come back with that baby.
An armed invasion for 2 harmless apes?
Never mind the army. Where's Hasline?
Hasline is fulfilling his destiny. Sarah! Sarah!
Wait! Don't fire!
Oh, Lewis.
I have changed man's fate, Dixon.
Have you, Hasline? Have you?
Get ready to move out! How you doing, little fella?
Mama. Mama.
From out of the future to lead your fellow creatures into the future. Caesar indeed.
Mama. Mama. Mama.
Battle for the Planet of the Apes.
The year is 2670 AD. The place, North America. In a ceremonial setting, an ancient lawgiver begins to read.
In the beginning, man and beast dwelt in peace. In time, evil men waged war both against their own kind and the apes, whom they placed in slavery. Then a leader appeared to deliver his fellow apes to freedom. Man, in the vilest of all wars, destroyed his own cities and his civilization. The leader lived through the Holocaust, along with a precious handful of survivors. He brought them out of the molten city to greener pastures, where ape and human could learn to live in harmony. His name was Caesar, and this is his story.
Caesar, in a few short years, you have carved a paradise out of the wilderness.
Paradise? That would mean happiness for all, would it not? McDonald has ape privileges, but there's no equality for us.
Maybe you're not old enough to remember how humans used to treat the apes.
I sense restlessness and discontent among the humans, and the gorillas have no liking for peace and order.
Look out, Caesar!
Hail, mighty Caesar!
General Aldo may be riding for a fall.
Before he causes Ape City to fall, I hope.
Aldo and his followers do pose a problem. Ah, Lisa, dear. MacDonald will be having lunch with us.
Well, he knows he is always welcome.
Aldo misses the excitement of the old days when we were fighting for our freedom. But how does one control a 400-pound gorilla?
You had the power. The gorillas are armed with swords. Your armory contains real weapons.
No! No! You think the unthinkable. You know our primal commandment? Ape shall not kill ape.
I know. Does Aldo?
Forgive me, dear friend. The burdens of leadership are heavy. If only I could see what lies ahead. I've heard that my parents knew the future. Did you ever hear that?
Your parents are half legend and half myth, Caesar. I've heard that they came from the future in a spaceship that passed through a time warp in space and landed in California back in 1973.
And that men, civilized men, were so frightened by talking apes that they murdered them.
Easy, Caesar. We've all paid for our folly.
Again, forgive my emotions. I never really saw my parents. They were slain when I was a baby.
You mean you never saw the videotapes of their interview after they landed? They were in the archives in the Forbidden City.
MacDonald! Could the tapes still exist?
You can't be thinking of searching for them. You yourself declared it a forbidden city, Caesar.
At dawn, 3 figures pass a guerrilla lookout post on the road out of Ape City.
General Aldo, look! They're going toward Forbidden City.
It's Caesar himself breaking Caesar's rule. I hope he never makes it back. Look at those guns. They make my mouth water.
Caesar, when you move, you move. You've commandeered weapons and a Geiger counter from the armory, and Professor Virgil from his classroom. And we're 2 days into the desert before my eyes are fully open.
Virgil's students need a rest from his fancy theories. He teaches that time is a circle and eternity a straight line, and their brains turn to lead. What we need is practical knowledge of radiation and Geiger counters.
The Geiger speaks to us all. We're getting close.
From a rise, the travelers gazed transfixed at a city crumpled and melted by an inferno into a glassy slag heap.
Lord! Unbelievable and almost beautiful.
If death is beautiful. Find your subterranean vault quickly, MacDonald. This radiation is deadly.
Hurry, tell Cope.
It's like a catacomb.
But it's cleaner. We have time to look.
Governor Kelp, intruders!
Ah, there they are. The scanning devices are still operative. So, Mendez, you thought me mad to maintain wartime vigilance.
3 lost strangers don't make a war.
You don't recognize the chimp? That's Caesar, the leader of the blasted ape insurrection. He's come back to finish the job. But I'll finish him. Battle stations! Battle stations! Seize invaders in archive section!
I think we've found it.
Is that my mother?
You look like her.
We saw the gorillas' war from space. We saw a blinding white light. The Earth's surface began to melt. The date meter in our spaceship read 3950.
Destruction of our planet. That is our future. How dare you theorize about eternity?
That is only one future. Time is like a many-lane highway from the past to the future. A car in lane A may crash while a car in lane B travels on. It follows that you can switch lanes and survive. Find the correct lane, Caesar, and lead your civilization to safety.
Switch lanes? That makes the burden of leadership unbearable.
Surrender or die!
Caesar explodes out of despair and into decisive action.
Out the other way!
Observe the difference between philosopher and born leader. The latter switches lanes by reflex.
This way! Through here!
They got away. How?
They were too strong for us. They were healthy.
Send out trackers. Find their headquarters. Mobilize for total war. An exhausting double-time race across the desert brings Caesar and his companions close to home.
Caesar, you were magnificent.
We've done nothing. Our real work lies ahead.
Halt! Who goes there?
You know who I am, fool. Be at the schoolhouse tomorrow morning for an emergency council meeting.
Something tells me our chance may have come.
Governor Cope, we have tracked the invaders to an ape city to the north.
Ah, with surprise on our side, this is our chance. An army that would be pathetic were it not for its deadly intent sets out across the desert. At an emergency council meeting, Caesar sums up his disastrous trip.
And so because the dead city turns out not to be dead, and because of the deranged condition of the survivors there, we must consider preparations for war.
No!
I regret this more than you, but we must plan.
Bah! Planners, talkers, cowards. I welcome war, and I will not sit in council with a human.
Perhaps I shouldn't be here.
Nonsense! Aldo bluffs. I need you, MacDonald. I rely on you. I trust you.
Through the long day and into the night, Caesar and his council draw up plans.
We must erect barricades, stock food in the center of the city, create a militia, and most important, set up plans for the quick distribution of arms from the armory.
While General Aldo sets his own plans in action.
Group A, you know what to do. The rest of you, on to the armory.
And Culp's army reaches the outskirts of Ape City.
Look at that food!
Why have we been scavenging all these years?
Caesar! Aldo has looted the armory and has rounded up all the humans and imprisoned them in the stockade.
He dared?
Well, we worked through the night.
Caesar, a strange army is encamped in the orchards. They have shot the guerrilla outpost.
My faulty leadership. I underestimated Aldo's recklessness and Culp's madness. Barricade the street. Perhaps Aldo can hold the mutants long enough for us to organize.
I must free my people. They'll be slaughtered penned up.
What's this human piggy doing out of his pen?
Idiots. What are you doing here with an enemy army at the city gates?
You call those human runts an army? As soon as General Aldo finishes them off, he'll come for you. So don't get too comfy. No more humans in our new world.
These rifles are great, General, but we haven't had any instructions.
They're automatic. Even a dumb gorilla can...
Here they come. Imagine sending monkeys to fight a man's war. The gorillas gallop into a semicircle of carnage. Now!
Regroup! Follow me!
Victory! The city is ours!
They're coming! Get ready! Now, I want Caesar! Colt possesses the one major weapon of the battle, and it opens the city like a can opener. Can this be Caesar? Remember this? Does it remind you of the good old days when apes knew who their masters were? The wrong words! Charging from the rear, Aldo and his troops cut down the panicked invaders to the last mutant, Colt.
I claim victory and full command. Now for the other human swine in the stockade.
No!
You say no? You sniveling talker, you say no to Aldo?
Aldo, respect.
Respect me!
Ape shall not kill ape!
Too late. You should have told me sooner. But it didn't hurt a bit. Shall we try again?
Storytellers will swear from generation to generation that living fire leaped from Caesar's eyes.
Aldo will kill him!
Never in a million light years!
Caesar's rage is like nature unleashed. Aldo flees to the trees in vain. In the dead silence, the branches snap like pistol shots, and the gorilla lands like a boulder that has never known life.
The lane you had to choose, Caesar.
Caesar, forgive me for saying this. Do not release us if it's going to be the same as it's always been. If we humans can't come out as equals, to work and live alongside you in our own way, together, then we'd just as soon stay penned up.
I never considered anything else, at least not since I fell out of the tree. We need one another if there's to be a future for this planet. We must watch together for whatever evil might come crawling out of the haunted, forbidden cities of our world.
The lawgiver finishes his narrative. Twilight rests softly on the rapt faces of his young listeners.
And so we have lived together now for generations, men and apes as equals, watchfully guarding our future.
Lawgiver, does anyone really know the future?
Perhaps only the dead, child.
Is it the evening dew glistening in Caesar's stone eye?
Mountain of the Delphi. It is the year 3885. Two astronauts, Pete Burke and Alan Verdon, traveling through a time warp in space, find themselves stranded on a strange and hostile planet, where apes are the hunters and humans the hunted.
Over here, Pete, quick!
Phew, that was close. Where's Galen?
Right behind you. I'm no more anxious to be caught by General Urko's gorillas than you are. If there's anything he hates more than a human, it's an ape who is friendly to humans.
Hey, listen.
They're going away. I don't get it.
I don't either. They had us trapped.
With them in front and this mountain at our backs, we didn't have a chance.
What do you think, Galen? Why did they leave?
I'm not sure, unless...
Unless what?
Unless we have entered one of the forbidden zones.
Forbidden zone?
Out of a mixture of fear and superstition, our Minister of Science has designated certain areas of the country off-limits to all apes.
Well, that's kind of strange, because your Dr. Zaius doesn't strike me as being the kind to fall for a lot of superstitious bunk.
Quite right. His major concern is to keep apes from learning that there may have been human civilizations in ancient times equal or perhaps even superior to our own, thus upsetting the theory that apes evolved from a lower species of primates, the humans.
How come you don't go along with him?
I've seen evidence in archaeological research that such civilizations did indeed exist. Because I have tried to make that fact known, I have been denounced as a heretic, and now I'm a fugitive along with you.
Lucky thing for us, too. We wouldn't be alive today if it weren't for you.
Hey, this sure is a forbidding-looking place. That mountain rising up out of nowhere, casting its shadow over the valley below. Where are we, Galen?
I can only guess, but I'd say that...
What's that noise? Sounds like...
Look out! Those boulders coming right down at us! Let's get out of here! Wow! An avalanche! As if we hadn't gotten enough trouble dodging General Urko and his gorillas.
That was no avalanche.
What do you mean?
Look up there.
Men! Cavemen! Right out of the Stone Age!
Well, oh,
Yes, just what I thought. But I never thought I'd have the good luck to see living specimens.
What are you talking about?
Those humans. They could be the missing link between civilized apes and primeval humans. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant no offense.
Okay. So what else do you know about them?
They are called the Delphi, and this is the very mysterious Mountain of the Delphi.
Mountain of the Delphi?
This mountain is an object of both fear and reverence to them. It is said they are drawn to it as though by a magnet, by a subconscious memory of something out of their dim past.
Sure is strange looking. Probably of volcanic origin, or the result of some other cataclysmic restructuring of the Earth's surface.
Dwelling in caves in and around the base, they never stray far from it. Legend speaks of a metallic object at the top, which they worship as a god, but dare not approach.
Hey, look! There's one of those caves up there where the boulders came from.
And there's another, right there behind the brush. And... Uh-oh.
Suddenly, Alan, Pete, and Galen find themselves surrounded by a group of primitive humans, staring at them, silent, impassive.
Hello. I'm Pete Burke, and these are my friends, Alan Verdon and... Galen?
You don't seem to be getting through. Let me try. We are friends. Friends.
No luck.
Perhaps it is my presence that disturbs them, since in their eyes, I am a member of the ape ruling class. As a scientist, I can assure you that I consider humans as equals of apes, and I wish to be a friend to all humans.
Look at their expression. Unchanged. Completely emotionless. They don't seem to understand a word we've said.
On the contrary, I have understood every word that has been said.
Well, thank heaven, one of you can speak.
I am Tamarain, guardian of the Delphi. Why have you come here?
We seek refuge from the gorillas, nothing more.
The mountain has been our refuge for uncounted generations. But we endanger our security and our future if we give aid to escaped slaves.
We're not slaves, we are astronauts.
Astronauts?
We came from another planet, another world out there in space called Earth.
Earth? Did you say Earth?
Yes, the planet Earth.
At last, the prophecy of the Delphi has come true.
What prophecy?
It is written that the survival of civilization is in the hands of men of Earth, and that one day they will descend from the skies to lead us to the land of promise, where all living things dwell together in unending peace and harmony.
Amazing how that concept in one form or another appears in the tradition of so many and varied civilizations.
Even among the apes?
Even among the apes. Though in our book of life, it is an ape who will lead the way.
Come, we must hurry. If the gorillas know of your origin, you are in greater danger than I thought.
Hey, hold it. You're taking us up toward the spot where those boulders came down. How do we know it won't happen again?
Braylock has been warned.
Who is Braylock?
He is in charge of defense of the mountain. Young and impetuous and naturally suspicious of strangers. But you are safe. Just follow me.
Where to?
Up to the great hall of the mountain, where my people gather in time of danger.
Then you believe the gorillas will overcome their fear of the Forbidden Zone and come back?
Yes, they will return. Your encounter was with a small scouting party. This time they will come with a large force, perhaps led by General Urko himself. Our only safety is in the mountain.
Tamarain was right. At that moment, General Urko was meeting with his captains and Dr. Zayas.
You have heard the report of my scouts, Dr. Zayas. Burke and Burton and the renegade Galen have taken refuge in or near the mountain of the Delphi. They must be captured at all costs, and the Delphi destroyed as a warning to the rest of the humans.
For once, General, I am in complete agreement with you. As long as they were isolated, we could tolerate the Delphi existence. Now that this isolation has been broken, the contagion of that place could spread throughout the land and destroy us all.
The guerrillas under my command are as brave as any, General Urko, but their fear of that mountain is great.
General Urko, I will follow you to the death, but I cannot guarantee that my troops...
Superstitious fools! I will lead the attack myself. We move out now! Follow me!
In the meantime, Tamarain and the three fugitives approached the cave entrance leading to the Great Hall.
Wow! 200 feet of sheer cliff behind us, straight down!
Yeah, and only one narrow footpath leading up here. With enough food and guns, this place could be held indefinitely.
Come, we have no time to lose.
Entering the cave single file, they walked through a long, twisting tunnel. Rounding one last corner, they stopped suddenly and gazed in amazement at the sight before them.
It's like a cathedral.
No wonder they call it the Great Hall.
And look there, relics of an ancient civilization. A veritable treasure house of archaeological significance.
Look here, Pete. Steel rails and some cobblestone.
And that thing sticking up like a stalagmite. It's a steeple, the top of an old church.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Way ahead of you. This mountain stands where once a great city stood.
And the Delphi, this handful of primitive humans, must be the descendants of the people of that city.
Clinging to the mountain like a security blanket.
Look, Tamarain's getting up in that pulpit. He's going to speak.
Hear me, my people. This day have come among us three strangers, as foretold in the Book of Wonders.
Amen.
This day is for us a day of glory, a day of deliverance.
Amen.
The people, they're not mutes. They're answering Tamarain like a congregation in a church.
As it is written in the ancient scrolls of the Delphi, when in the course of human events, it becomes necessary.
Good Lord. Those words.
It becomes necessary.
Yeah, I know.
Tamarain, the guerrillas are coming. A whole army led by General Urko.
Prepare all defenses. Braylock! Where is Braylock?
Suddenly, a secret stone door swings open, and Braylock enters the Great Hall.
There is only one defense, Tamarain. Turn the strangers over to General Urko.
What are you saying? Betray our friends? Never!
He has given me his word that he will leave us in peace.
You have spoken to him?
Why you played at being a soldier, I acted. He waits at the foot of the mountain for your decision.
You fool! General Urko will not keep his word. There is his answer. He followed you to the secret entrance.
You refuse?
I refuse.
Then I am taking command. You are through, Tamarain.
Turning to the open door behind him, Braylock shouts to the guerrillas waiting below.
Guards, up here! The fugitives are up here!
Tamarain, in a fury, seizes an ancient pistol, fires a single shot, and Braylock falls dead in his tracks. Then, turning to the fugitive, Tamarain shouts,
"Come quick! Through here!"
Leading them through a secret door behind the pulpit, he points to a stairway carved out of stone.
Follow those stairs to the top of the mountain. Go down the other side and you will find safety in the forest beyond.
Aren't you coming with us?
It is forbidden for any Delphi to approach the top of the mountain, home of Itrabil.
Itrabil?
God of the mountain, protector of the Delphi. My trust is in him. It is written that in the time of our greatest danger, Itrabil will speak, and our enemies will be destroyed. Go, now!
Emerging into the light at the top of the mountain, the three friends peer cautiously over the edge. Far below, Urko, flushed with a sense of victory, shouts to his officers.
Destroy the Delphi to the last man, woman, and child! But I want those fugitives alive!
Nice guy.
Pete, Alan, look.
What is it?
Over here. That metal gleaming in the sun. It must be...
Uh-oh. They've spotted us. Let's get out of here.
Down the other side.
Wait a minute. Alan, look at this.
It's a huge, ancient bell.
I'd estimate its weight at about 2,000 pounds with a rim diameter of about 12 feet.
Some kind of inscription around the rim. Can't quite make it out. Looks like...
What's that? The mountain is shaking. All that gunfire.
Yeah, must have set off an earthquake or something. If we don't move fast...
Pete, I've got it. It says...
For heaven's sakes, Alan!
Listen. Proclaim liberty. Pete, you get it? The god of the mountain, Itrabil, it's...
Ellen, quick! Down here!
With the mountain crumbling away almost beneath their feet, they race down the side, reaching the safety of the forest just as the proud home of the Delphi, with a final convulsive roar, dissolves into a massive heap of rubble, buried beneath a towering cloud of dust.
Good Lord!
Are you sure we didn't just dream there was a mountain there a few minutes ago?
If it was a dream, then it was one dream that will never die.
You speak in riddles. All I know is that the ruins of an ancient city, the richest archaeological treasures I've ever seen, may be lost for all time.
And all I know is that a great man and his people died there today, never knowing that the voice of their god of the mountain, silent for over 2,000 years, was in fact the voice of the Liberty Bell of ancient Philadelphia.
Dawn of the Tree People. Wandering across a land ravaged by a cataclysm beyond imagination in its horror, Pete, Alan, and Galen reach an area strangely untouched by the destructive forces unleashed many centuries ago.
Have you guys noticed how warm it's been getting the past few days?
Well, we have been moving south, so I guess things haven't changed that much in 2,000 years.
According to our ape theory of evolution, the origin of apes can be traced back to an area similar to this, with the appearance first of humans, followed by the superior ape species. Uh-oh, gorillas.
Yeah, looks like we're still being followed by the superior ape species.
We're in luck. They didn't see us.
That Urko never gives up. He's got the word out on us all over the place.
Yeah, so we gotta find us a place to hole up for the night. It's gonna be dark soon, and I don't want to be caught sleeping in the open.
We seem to be on the edge of a big swamp. Maybe we can find a place in there. Sure gives plenty of cover, trees and things.
Ugh, I don't think I like it.
What do you think, Alan?
I'd rather take my chances in there than out here. Let's go.
Making their way carefully through underbrush and mud, the three friends suddenly come to a small clearing.
Look over there on the other side. The ground looks a little higher and drier, and plenty of trees.
It's only about 50 yards across. Let's go.
I still don't like it.
Suddenly, a few yards from their objective...
Hey, Pete, I'm stuck. Now don't come any closer. Quicksand!
Give me your hand. Quick!
Bracing himself to pull his companion free, Pete's feet suddenly sink, and he too is caught in the treacherous terrain.
Galen, don't try to reach us. Go around us and get to that dry land.
But I can't just leave you here.
Don't argue, just listen. When you get there, break off one of those tree branches and slide it out to us. Maybe that way you can pull us out of this mess. It's our only chance.
Right. Okay, I'm on my way.
He made it.
Good work, Galen. Now slide it out here. Hurry, we're sinking fast.
Too short. I can't reach it.
Neither can I. Alan, it looks like we've had it.
Oh, Lord. What a way to go.
Sinking deeper and deeper, they had almost disappeared beneath the surface, when suddenly, as they were lapsing into unconsciousness, they felt strong hands grasp them and pull them out to solid ground and safety.
What happened? Pete, where are you? Galen!
Easy now. Rest easy. Your friends are all right.
Oh, my head. Who are you?
I am Magnum, leader of the Tree People.
We're safe, Alan. Magnum and his son Molan pulled you both out of the quicksand just in time.
Oh, you can say that again.
Pete, you okay?
Outside of a mouthful of sand, yeah.
Lucky thing for us you came along, Magnum. And Molan, thanks.
No thanks are necessary.
If you feel strong enough to move, follow us. You'll stay in our village for the night. It's not safe here.
Moving with a sure-footed instinct of born woodsmen, Magnum and his son lead the group along a moss-covered path through a morass of lush vegetation, mangrove thickets, and snake-infested waters. And just as night falls...
Lights ahead.
Is that a welcome sight?
Here we are.
I must say, any place is better than where we've been.
This is our village, our home.
Village? Home? All I see is a big clearing in the woods.
Lit up by torches.
But no people and no houses.
Look up.
Well, what do you know? Tree houses.
Guess I've seen everything. A land where apes live on the ground and humans live in trees.
Driven by fear of the gorillas, my ancestors took refuge here, where the gorillas do not dare enter.
I can't say that I blame them.
And they built their homes in the trees to be safe from the many creatures that roam in the night. But I'd like you to meet our people, and then we'll find you a tree house for the night.
Me? Sleep in a tree?
You can sleep on the ground if you prefer, but you may find alligators not the most congenial bedfellows.
Alligators? I'll take the tree.
Very wise of you. All right, Molan, ring the all-clear bell.
As though by magic, the village comes alive with people descending from their houses by ladder. Suddenly, a beautiful young girl emerges from the rest and runs toward them.
Molan, I was worried about you. What happened?
We got a message from our guards that some humans had entered our territory and were walking straight toward the quicksand. We had to move fast to save them.
This is
I'm Pete Burt, and this is Alan Verdon.
Hi.
And this is...
An ape!
Don't be afraid. Galen is a friend.
Oh, how I look to the day when ape and human can meet each other as friends and equals, instead of recoiling in fear and distrust.
Oh, I'm sorry, Galen. It's just that we've heard so many terrible stories about the apes.
And all of them are true. What is he doing here? And what kind of humans would have an ape as a friend?
Bronto, these are our guests.
How do you know they're not agents of the gorillas sent here to spy on us?
Here we go again.
If you and your people weren't so isolated, you would have known that Pete, Galen, and I are #1 on General Urko's enemy list.
And his gorillas have been chasing us from one corner of the country to the other.
Enough! Molan, see that our guests are made comfortable for the night in the empty lodge next to ours. In the morning, we shall settle this matter once and for all.
What does that mean?
You got me. We'll just have to wait and see.
Climbing the ladder to the empty guest house, the three friends settle down for a much-needed night's sleep. Awakening at daybreak, they find the house well stocked with food.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Very good, if you ask me.
Good food, porch with a view, best hotel I've checked into in a long time.
Hotel? What's that?
Well, it's a...
Listen, sounds like the old school bell. Council meeting, all must attend, council meeting.
I guess all includes us.
Yeah, I got a feeling it especially includes us. Let's go down, see what's...
This meeting has been called to settle a matter of grave importance. As you know, 3 strangers are here, fugitives from the Apes.
And I say they're spies for the Apes.
You will have your turn to speak, Bronto, before the council makes its decision.
No council decisions, no wasting of time. I demand trial by the king.
Quiet, quiet. It is the right of any citizen in a case involving village security to demand trial by the king instead of trial by council.
Trial? What's all this about trial?
I think we're going to find out right now.
Pete Burke, Alan Burden, and Galen. In accordance with the custom of our people, one of you must accept the challenge of Bronto.
Challenge to do what?
One of you must fight Bronto.
He's big, but looks muscle-bound. I think I can take him.
Armed only with short clubs, you will meet in the waters of King's Lagoon, and the king will decide who's the winner.
Surely there must be some other way.
Silence! You know the law.
Who is this king?
Look over there. The small pool. That is King's Lagoon.
Yeah, but I don't see anybody.
Watch. On the other side, when I throw this stone.
An alligator.
Look at the size of him.
That is the king.
And he's the 3rd man in the ring? Some referee.
Hey, I'm taking this one. I did some alligator wrestling in the old days in Florida, if you remember. And I think I can handle our muscle-bound friend. Okay, I'm your man, Bronto. Let's go down and get this over with.
Ready?
Ready.
Ready.
Begin.
As the 2 men fight savagely at the water's edge, a pair of beady eyes just above the surface of the lagoon can be seen approaching from the other side, gliding silently toward them.
The king! The king is coming!
Distracted by the shouts of the crowd, Alan turns his eyes away from his opponent for a quick glance at the approaching danger. But in that brief moment, Bronto strikes home with a vicious blow. And Alan falls, momentarily stunned.
Alan! Alan! I'm not going to stand here and let that alligator...
You will stay where you are. God, don't let him near the water.
Look, Pete, he's up. He's all right. Fighting back. Ooh, now Bronto's down.
He's heading straight for Bronto.
He has made his decision.
But as the alligator moves in for the kill, Alan leaps on his back, wrestles him over, and with one hand free, he jams his club upright between the monster's jaws, to the complete amazement of the whole village. With the creature thrashing about in impotent fury, his great jaws locked open, Alan pulls the unconscious Bronto out to safety.
Hey! Good going, Alan! You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Burden, you had no right to interfere with the king's decision. According to the law of our people...
You call that law? That throwback to the mentality of the dinosaurs? It's time that law was changed.
And for your people, look at them. Their reaction to the rescue of Bronto proves they're ready for change.
Oh, yes, it is time for a change. When Molan and I are one, we will not want our children to be born into a life of darkness and terror.
It would seem that too many years in the eternal twilight of this swamp have dimmed my vision. Perhaps a new leader.
No! We need you, Magnum! You have the wisdom of age and the faith of your people. All that is needed is the courage to face the world outside.
The world outside? You suggest that we abandon our homes and risk our lives out there?
Things are changing out there.
Urko and his gorillas are only one segment of the ape community. There are others, more all the time, who favor a closer, peaceful relationship with humans, like that of Pete and Alan and me.
They are right, Father. We have traded our right to live in the sun for a false security in the stagnation of this swamp. To grow, we need the sun.
Ah, the wisdom and courage of youth. So be it. Hear me! There will be a meeting of the council immediately. Burke, Galen, Burden, will you join us?
Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Delighted.
How could we pass up the chance to see something as beautiful as a sunrise? The new dawn of the tree people.
Battle of Two Worlds. In the strange and hostile world that was once their home, the two astronauts have found one true friend, Galen.
We should be there in a few minutes now.
Look, Galen, are you sure we won't meet up with another of those friendly reception committees that seem to be waiting for us wherever we go?
This is one place where we will be safe. I don't blame you for being bitter, but don't judge all apes by the actions of the Urkos among us. Look, there it is.
Looks peaceful enough.
I like to think this village points the way to the world of tomorrow. A place where artist and artisan, thinker and worker, apes and humans all live and work side by side in harmony with each other and nature. You'll see what I mean when you meet Landa.
Who is Landa?
An artist of rare sensitivity. Her work is filled with love and compassion for all living things. She is also prefect of the village.
Prefect? A female?
I thought that would surprise you.
Well, here we are. Look, where is everybody?
That is strange. I noticed that no one was working in the field, but I thought perhaps it was lunchtime. Here, I'll knock on this door. No answer.
Well, let's look around some more.
If you ask me, I'd say this place is deserted. Look at this house. Door open, dinner plates on the table, food still on the plates. Whoever lived here left in one big hurry.
Sure looks like trouble in your paradise, Galen.
I don't understand it. But Landa will explain. Let's get over to her house. It's just on the way. Landa?
No answer. Try the door.
Landa? It's me, Galen. She's not here. Oh my, now I am worried.
Look at those paintings. Pete, Galen wasn't exaggerating. She is good.
Yeah, the color, the composition. Who would ever dream an ape could create work of this caliber?
Something terrible must have happened. Landa would never leave her house like this.
Oh.
What was that?
Came from up in that loft or attic, whatever they call it. Come on, up the ladder.
Landa, it's me, Galen.
Oh. Where am I? Galen. Oh, Galen, I'm so glad you're here.
Are you all right?
Yes, I think so. Who are they?
Friends of mine. Pete Burke and Alan Verdon. You have nothing to fear. What happened? The whole village deserted? You hiding up here?
It was terrible. They came out of the sky.
Out of the sky? What do you mean?
A huge airship landed in the field at the edge of the village.
An airship? Can you describe it?
Here, I'll make a rough sketch. It was round, like a dish, about 30 feet in diameter and about 10 feet high.
Looks like one of those experimental spacecraft we were fooling around with in the late 70s.
Yeah. Go on, Landa.
A large door in the side of the ship swung open and down, like this, reaching the ground.
Like our naval landing craft in the old days.
And two huge armored vehicles rolled down, followed by some humans on foot, carrying guns.
Humans?
Their leader was very efficient.
Spread out! Don't let any one of those animals escape!
They killed all those working in the field.
No wonder we didn't see anyone there on our way in.
I formed a committee representing those of us still alive in the village and tried to negotiate an end to the killing.
Negotiate? You have nothing to negotiate with.
But we are just a peaceful community and no possible threat to you.
You and your village are of no consequence to us whatsoever.
Some here are humans, just like yourself.
Obviously an inferior breed, quite as expendable as the gorillas, chimpanzees and orangutans that make up the so-called rulers of this planet.
You know about our political structure.
1 week in orbit and reconnaissance was enough to give us all the information we need to take possession.
Take possession? With only 30 men?
With our superior armament, mobility, and intelligence, 30 men is enough. We shall eliminate as many of you as is necessary to convince your rulers that resistance is futile. Then we shall repopulate the planet with a superior race, utilizing those of you who survive as a workforce. And now enough of this talk. Round them up! Take them to the pit on the other side of the village and dispose of them. No exceptions.
impossible. But how did you escape?
Somehow, in all the confusion, I slipped away into the woods. When I was sure they'd gone, I came back here where you found me.
And they refer to us as animals.
Yeah, we had a bellyful of that superior race garbage in the World War II period of the 1900s.
I tell you, Galen, if Trang and his men are not stopped, we are all doomed.
Back in Central City, an emergency meeting of the leaders of the country is in session. Dr. Zaius is speaking.
The day we have long feared is upon us. A small but extremely dangerous band of killer humans have invaded our planet.
Speak for yourself, Dr. Zaius. You and your intellectual friends may fear these invaders, but I fear no one.
Nobody questions your courage, General Urko, but the situation is critical and calls for careful study and planning.
There is no time for that. Just give the word, and my army will move to the attack within the hour.
And the invader would mow your guerrillas down like grass. You wouldn't have a chance against their advanced armament.
What alternative do you propose? As for me, I'd rather go down fighting than sitting here waiting for them to come and get us.
In the old armory outside of the city, we do have some 20th century weapons similar to those used by the invaders.
Can they be used?
After so many centuries of disuse, I frankly doubt it, but it is worth looking into.
You can waste time puttering around with your old antiques if you like, but I say your fears are exaggerated, and I'm giving battle orders right now. Sergeant, get the troops ready to ride. We will search out the enemy wherever he is and destroy him.
Meanwhile, Pete, Alan, and Galen hold their own council of war, together with their friend Landa, in the field at the edge of the village.
Here's where the ship landed. Look at that, Pete. Those tracks.
They've got tanks.
Yeah, probably running on high-powered batteries or nuclear fuel, though gasoline fuel is conceivable.
And how do you stop tanks with rifles?
Like shooting at an elephant with a pea shooter.
You shoot elephants?
Greedy men used to hunt them down for the ivory of their tusks, until wiser and more compassionate laws put an end to the practice.
Are you going to stand there and preach morality all day?
Justice versus injustice, right against wrong, love against hate. Isn't that what morality is all about? The conflict between good and evil is always a moral struggle, an unending battle of two worlds. And now I wonder, which side are you on?
Okay, cool it. I'm with you.
Don't mind him, Landa. His heart's in the right place. He just likes action, likes to keep the...
General Urko's guerrillas. We must hide.
Quickly, over here behind the bushes.
There they are, 5 of them.
Look at this, Sergeant. What do you make of those marks?
The invaders! Their airship must have landed here. Quick, Blendo! Ride back and report this location to headquarters at once.
But what made these tracks, Sergeant?
Some kind of vehicle that travels on land. Maybe the kind I once saw when I was on guard duty at the old armory. They lead that way.
The old armory. Landa, do you know where it is?
About 10 miles from here down that road.
We've got to get there, and we sure can use those horses the guerrillas have. Can you ride?
Yes, I am quite expert at it.
Galen?
I'm not an expert, but I think I can manage to stay on.
Good. Only one guerrilla guarding them. Alan, let's take him.
That takes care of him. And the others haven't seen us yet. Mount up and let's go. There it is, the old armory.
Yeah, 2 guards in front. Any other entrances, Landa?
No, except for a window in back, rather high up.
You and Galen wait here with the horses. Come on, Alan. Let's see if we can get in. There's the window. Hey, looks easy. Give me a hand up. Now you. Phew. This place is huge.
Yeah. Hey, look there. Big guns, jeeps, armored cars.
And over there, do you believe that? A fighter bomber, World War II.
Pete, look.
A tank.
Yeah. Let's take a good look. Forget it. Can't stop trying with that.
It's so rusty it'll never run.
And none of this other stuff will either, even if there were enough gasoline.
Gasoline! This big metal drum, it's marked gasoline. Is it possible it didn't deteriorate or evaporate over the centuries? Hey, baby, no mistaking that smell.
So what good is gas for machines that can't run?
What good is it? Cocktails, my friend. Delicious cocktails.
Cocktails? Molotov cocktail.
You catch on quick, buddy.
Pete, you're a genius.
There are some bottles up on that shelf.
And look, kerosene lamps. We can sure use those wicks.
Racing against time, the two astronauts assemble their firebombs, stuff their pockets with some grenades they found in a box, and slip back to Galen and Landa just as a large detachment of soldiers pulls up at the front entrance.
It's Urko himself.
And Dr. Zaius.
Sure got here fast.
The gorilla Blendo must have met them on the road and told them about Trang. Uh-oh. Speaking about the devil, listen.
Colonel Trang, coming from the other direction.
And no mistaking the sound of tanks.
Look, Urko heard them too.
Fellow soldiers, we face a ruthless enemy with superior armament, but right is on our side. And with our superior courage, we shall destroy him. Check your weapons and prepare to attack. Company A, take the left flank. Company B!
Horses against tanks?
It's the battle of two worlds, all right. And here we are, right smack dab in the middle.
Quick, Landa, Galen, get the horses behind those trees and stay down. Come on, Pete. These bushes give perfect cover.
Here they come. Light up. I'll take the first one. You take number 2. Now!
The firebombs stop the tanks in their tracks, and as the men inside try to get out of the disabled monsters, they are met with a shower of hand grenades tossed by the two astronauts, before the eyes of the astonished gorillas approaching on horseback.
Come on, Pete. Let's get back to the horses.
I'm with you.
Pete, Alan, over here.
Galen, what happened?
Landa, she's been shot.
Oh, Lord.
Wait a minute. She's breathing. Bullet just creased her head. She's coming around. I think she'll be all right. Who did it?
It was Trang himself. He took one of the horses and went that way.
Alan, we gotta stop him. He's headed back for the spaceship, and that ship is our ticket back home.
What are we waiting for?
Galloping furiously down a path through the woods, they suddenly come to a clearing.
There it is. And it's a spaceship, all right. A beauty. Listen, the motor's running.
Look out! He sees us!
He's gonna get away!
Not if I can help it. The door is still open, and I've got one grenade left.
Racing his horse directly toward the spaceship with Alan close behind him, Pete hurls the grenade through the door a split second before it closes, and the ship starts to rise.
Our luck. The last grenade, and it's a dud.
Well, it was a good try. What's that? The grenade! It went off! Look, the door's opening. Someone's gonna jump. It's Trang.
Good Lord! The ship blew up! Completely disintegrated!
There goes our ticket to home.
Trang got out just in time, but I don't think it did him much good. Let's get over there. He looks all busted up.
Filthy animals! Wipe them out! Destroy them!
Trang, listen. We are astronauts like you. How did you get here? Do you have any other base on the planet?
The future is ours! Follow me!
We won't get anything out of him.
Fanatical to the end. History sure has a way of repeating itself.
Uh-oh. The gorillas. We're sunk!
They've got Galen and Landa with them. Okay. We give up. Hey, the gorillas. They're leaving.
Pete, Alan, you're all right?
Yeah, but what gives? How come they're letting us go?
Urko still considers you dangerous, but because of what happened today, Dr. Zaius convinced him to let us go. This time.
A sort of temporary truce?
Better than no truce, wouldn't you say?
You see, justice and mercy still live, even among the apes. What will you do now?
Get as far away from Urko as we can. How about you?
I shall go back to my village. It's a dream that's worth rebuilding.
Landa, painter of beautiful dreams. We'll never forget you. Galen, coming?
In a minute. I have a little dream building of my own to discuss with Landa.
Okay. We'll wait for you. Down the road a way.
volcano. In the upside-down world that was the planet of the apes, the divisions and hostilities within the dominant ape community were like a mirror image of the man-ruled world which preceded it. Especially acute was the conflict between the military-minded gorillas and the intellectual chimpanzees, which had been intensifying over a long period of time and now threatened to erupt into open warfare.
Yes, come in. Well, don't just stand there. What do you want?
Here are the reports you asked for, Dr. Zaius.
Oh, just put them down here and close the door after you.
There is one more thing.
Well, out with it. I don't have all day.
There is a Dr. Pendera waiting to see you.
Pendera? Oh, yes. He's the one who has done such fine work in geothermal energy, not to mention that outlandish theory of his about shifting continental plates. Show him in.
Good morning, Dr. Zaius.
You are Dr. Pendera? I thought...
Ah, yes, I know. You thought I was a male. Sometimes I wonder if the world will ever recognize that females are quite as capable as males of being creative, outside of the obvious physiological process of childbearing.
Forgive me, Doctor. My surprise overcame my sense of good manners. Please, sit down.
Thank you.
Now, did you bring the results of your investigation in the Pralox area?
Yes, and I am quite concerned about it. The temperature of the water in the crater of Mount Pralox is rising, almost to the boiling point, and the vapor emission has increased sharply.
What about earthquake activity?
That, too, is alarming. Numerous minor quakes have been felt in the area, none big enough so far to cause any damage. But my studies of the motions of the continental plates...
Must we go into that? I have heard of your theory, Dr. Pendera, but I really feel you are allowing fantasy to take over your usually rational thought processes.
Nevertheless, through my theory of the shifting of those continental plates, I predict there will be a major earthquake along the fault line in the Mount Pralox district, preceded by massive volcanic activity sometime in the very near future.
Assuming your prediction is correct, the area around the mountain is no longer fit for habitation, and everyone living there should move to another and safer location.
And the sooner, the better.
You realize, of course, that the Pralox area constitutes one of General Urko's strongest bases of popular support, that it is populated almost exclusively by gorillas?
I am aware of that.
Relations between Urko and myself have almost reached the breaking point. And recently, there have been frequent clashes between individual chimpanzees and orangutans on the one side and gorillas on the other.
What does that have to do with...
If the Council of Ministers, under my instructions, orders an evacuation of the Pralox area, I hesitate to predict its effect on General Urko and his hotheads.
The worst fears of Dr. Zaius were at that moment being confirmed at General Urko's headquarters, where a meeting of all his commanders is in session.
I have called you together today because of grave developments in our country. For too long now, we have put up with the stupidity and insolence of those emasculated, effete intellectuals in Central City. They have coddled the humans, allowed our defenses to be weakened, and now are beginning to openly discriminate against us. I have received word that they are about to order the evacuation of Pralox because of a supposed threat of earthquakes or volcanoes or some such nonsense.
No!
It's a trick to split the gorillas.
Divide and conquer.
I am from Pralox, and my people are not afraid of a few rumbles of the earth and harmless columns of steam, which we have seen for years. We will not be stampeded by some chicken-hearted chimps in Central City.
Well said, Captain Soma. But the issue has gone beyond all this. The issue now is, who is to rule the nation? Those witch doctors with their mumbo-jumbo pronouncements taken from dusty old books? Or the great gorilla people, you and I, the true protectors of law and order?
Urko!
Soma, you will proceed at once to...
Unaware of the growing feud among the apes, the three fugitives, Pete, Alan, and Galen, stand on a low hill overlooking the only village in the Pralox area inhabited by humans.
If I didn't know better, I'd swear we were near old Yellowstone Park.
Yeah, those geysers around here sure remind me of Old Faithful.
But we're nowhere near the Rockies.
Rockies? Old Faithful? Yellowstone?
I never heard of them. What are they?
Well, hey, look, something's going on down there.
The villagers have gathered around that chimp on the horse, and they look pretty excited. Let's move down closer. Maybe we can hear what it's all about.
This is our home, all we have in the world. How can we leave it?
And how do you know the danger is so great? We've seen smoke from the mountain many times before, and nothing ever happened.
The order to evacuate comes from Dr. Zaius himself. Although Mount Pralox has been inactive for centuries, the scientists say it will erupt at any moment now, destroying everything for miles around. Your lives are in danger.
Uh-oh, gorillas.
Humans, don't listen to that lying chimp. It's just a trick to cheat you out of your possessions. And I order you to stay in your homes. Guards, shoot him. Shoot that chimp.
Those dirty...
And the same thing will happen to any human who disobeys my order. From now on, the gorillas and the gorillas alone are running this country.
That was Captain Soma. Urkel's next in command.
So what? One gorilla's about as bad as another when he's got a gun on you.
It is against our law for ape to kill ape. If Urkel's top commander deliberately breaks that law, it can only mean one thing.
Well?
The gorillas are in open revolt. I fear there will be the same kind of fratricidal war among apes that destroyed the civilization of humans.
Hey, what's that? Am I dreaming, or did the ground shake for a second?
You weren't dreaming, and it was shaking.
And look at that column of steam from Mount Pralox.
I don't like the look of this thing.
Neither do I. I think Dr. Zaius and his scientists are right. This place is gonna blow. We gotta get out of here.
And we've got to convince the humans in that village to leave. They must leave.
What a spot they're in. If they stay, the volcano will get them. And if they try to leave, the gorillas will.
If you ask me, they have no choice. They've got to leave and take their chances with the gorillas. And we've got to convince them. Let's go.
They race down into the village, and without hesitation, Pete climbs on a box in the center of a crowd of bewildered, frightened villagers.
Listen to me. You've got to leave this place right now.
Who are you? You don't belong here.
Who I am doesn't matter. Your lives are in danger if you stay here. You must leave.
You came in here with an ape. Why should we listen to you?
Let him speak. My life is at stake here, too, and I want to hear what he has to say.
Mount Pralox has become a live volcano. At any moment now, it will explode, and flaming red-hot lava will come flowing down, destroying and burying everything in its path. And that means this whole village. I've seen volcanoes in action, and I beg you, leave now!
It's Captain Soma and his gorillas again.
Who are you, human? And what? Say, aren't you... Guards, seize him! He is one of the fugitive astronauts, and there are his friends Bearden and Galen. Seize them all!
Suddenly, with a violent explosion, the top of the mountain blew off, and a fiery fountain of incandescent lava shot high in the air, cascading in showers over the mountainside, and soon the deadly flow of lava began.
Let's get out of here. Everybody, follow me!
Nobody needed to be told to leave at this point. Even the gorillas finally realized that Dr. Zaius had been telling the truth and raced back to warn their own people to evacuate. A little later, on a small hill beyond the reach of the lava, Pete, Alan, and Galen survey the scene of devastation before them.
Wow! I've never seen anything like that in my life. The village, gone. Buried under that river of flame.
Looks like the people got out just in time, thank heaven.
They lost everything they had in this world. Their homes, their livestock.
But they have their lives, and they can build new homes.
But if there is a war on top of all this...
The gorillas are not my favorite people, but they are not utterly devoid of reason.
You think they'll call off their war?
Unlike the humans of 2,000 years ago, I believe my fellow apes will see the precipice ahead and pull back in time. I think they will learn the lesson of the volcano.
Amen.